Welcome everybody to the Channel Vision Magazine webinar featuring Snom, which wants to help service providers find a competitive wireless advantage in the market and replace their Panasonic offerings. I'm your moderator, Bruce Christian, Senior Editor at Channel Vision Magazine. We will be speaking today to two presenters from Snom, Chris Tritton, Account Manager for Cloud Service Providers, and Simon Bradbrick, a Sales Engineer. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
So with that, I'd like to start our conversation by asking Chris and Simon a few questions that I already have. Chris, with the recent announcement that Panasonic is leaving the UC market, how is Snom positioned to offer a replacement or an alternative?
Thank you, Bruce. And first, for those that on the call that are not aware, I'm coming from Panasonic. I'm part of that end-of-life transition that we're all talking about. So I know it quite well, unfortunately or fortunately. But with resellers, partners, both reseller and carrier alike for Panasonic, they're both stuck in a bad position. They're forced to transition to a new product, go to the marketplace and find out what's available, and transition to a product that's going to best replace what they're losing to Panasonic. We're actually in a really good position to help you, help those carriers, partners, as well as reseller partners. And we can help in many ways, but primarily the products that we're presenting on the SIP side of the house are going to compete and replace very, very well with TGP 600, both from a handset perspective, a base station perspective, and a vertical sales perspective as well. So we have the products in-house, fully baked, fully on the market, completely on the market. They're going to be able to transition very, very easily for you.
Okay, well, Chris, how would you compare the Snom DECT solution to the Panasonic TGP 600?
The TGP 600 from Panasonic was a very successful wireless DECT solution. And it was successful for a number of reasons. Primarily, it was a great SMB product, but it fared very, very well in vertical solutions such as national retail, national restaurant, car dealerships, medical clinics, those types of places where wireless was a necessity or a requirement. And we at Snom with the M100 product compare very, very well to that. It's almost very easily a drop and insert replacement. What was loved about the TGP 600 from these national retail restaurant verticals, for example, was the ability to emulate key systems, and the functionality of both the base station and the handset. However, we at Snom with the M100 can actually do it better. One of the things on the roadmap for the TGP 600 was to be able to map physical lines to physical buttons, or virtual lines rather than physical buttons on the device, whether wireless desktop, or wireless handset. Lines 1 through 4, for example, line 3 rings, line 3 shows up on everybody's phone, you place it on hold, it turns on everybody's phone, and they're able to then go and answer that device or answer that call rather from any device. We have that technology on our M100 product, which is actually fully released. It has been released for a couple of years, where it was on the roadmap for Panasonic. We actually have that product completely done and released, and it's going quite well for us.
Okay. Simon, I'm wondering if you can elaborate on the advantages that Snom DECT solutions provide specific to restaurants and retailers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bruce. So Chris just mentioned the M100. Now, this is our identified solution for the restaurant and retail space. And simply put, the added advantage here is training and the lack of, because we simply provide you basic old-fashioned key system functionality into an IP solution. And as Chris just mentioned actually on the previous answer, we have 4 physical line keys on each handset, which is very unique to any cordless solution out there at the moment with IP, which makes the call answering and the call transition really simple. And as I said, no training for the staff. Now, an added advantage to this as well is the cost and the savings that you get with this. Most of these restaurants out there now, they've probably got 3 to 4 POTS lines that are running in. Now, we all know that POTS is on the way out and it's particularly expensive. Now, with the M100, you can basically flip that around. You've got one hosted license that's going to come in, and it's going to support up to 6 concurrent calls. Now, an example there is we recently, say about a year ago, installed a large restaurant chain across the US. There was 450 restaurants. Each restaurant took one base station, two handsets. Now, the infrastructure costs alone from removing pots from their systems basically saved the company nearly $1 million a year. So there's some big advantages there for the customer.
Okay, so Simon, why don't you tell me about why Snom products are unique to other vendors and kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, sure. So product-wise, I mean, as I said, unique with the keyline functionality that's kind of unique to the IP world. But other added advantages that we provide you is we'll give you a 3-year warranty. And this warranty is, again, different to the industry because it's an advanced replacement. So what we mean by that is when there's a problem with the product within the 3 years, it's a simple phone call into support. We'll verify the product is actually broken, and then we'll just ship you a new product. We're not going to wait for that old product back like a lot of other vendors do. So it takes that wait for the customer away where they're dealing with a bad handset. We can get them a new handset immediately. And when we ship the new handset to you, there'll be shipping details in there about getting the product back to us. As well as the 3-year warranty and the advanced replacement, we've got a North American-based support. It's basically a free phone number that you call, and you get instantly connected to a team of support agents. And the other side of this is, well, Snom is a sister company of VTech. VTech basically made a name for itself with building DECT products. So combining the professionalism of Snom with the DECT capability that VTech provides, I think that gives us all a big advantage.
Okay. Chris, there's approximately 1.5 million SMBs still use old key system units because they're just reluctant to give up the key system functionality. So how can Snom help migrate these businesses to the cloud and help them take advantage of all the great benefits of cloud UC?
Thank you. Yeah, that's this business category, these small businesses that are still using key systems are probably the one unit that's still neglected in cloud conversion. And the reason is it's really not a solution to bridge these people to the cloud. They have the technology that they're used to, they've used for years and years and years. They don't want to give it up. And I talked earlier about vertical solutions such as restaurant and retail. Locations with high turnover where training new employees, young employees how to use phones becomes a chore. Key system makes that all really easy. It's simple. You see a button, you hit a button, technology. But more importantly, all these businesses with key systems in their offices today that do not want to lose that technology are reluctant to move to the cloud simply for that reason. They don't want to lose the simplicity, the way they've been doing business for many years. With the M100 and our key system emulation, our keyline emulation technology, we're able to provide them a bridge. Take the technology that they love, they don't lose, they want to maintain. We're able to give them that technology, maintain that technology through the M100, and offer that as a bridge to the cloud, allowing them to take advantage of everything that the cloud does offer, all the great technology, all the cost savings, everything, all the benefits of cloud. The reason cloud UC is exploding, allow them to take advantage of that while still maintaining the technology and keeping the technology that they really don't want to give away. So the technology within the M100 keyline emulation technology allows these customers to bridge that technology to the cloud, at the same time take advantage of all of these great technologies that are available to them. Again, all the cost savings, the mobility, the auto attendance, everything that technology offers into the cloud services, we're able to bring them to.
Does Snom have additional DECT products for SMB and enterprise businesses?
Yeah, absolutely, we do. We have another product. It's called the M900. Now, this product is quite unique. It will work as a single cell solution. One base station will support up to 30 handsets. And this is more of your traditional kind of cordless solution where each handset is basically tied to its own account. Where this becomes unique is that as that office grows, or you're moving into a larger area, this solution is actually scalable, and it's scalable up to 4,000 base stations and 1,000 handsets. So what this does is we actually create a multi-cell network, and you actually create a mesh network for the handsets to work within, so that the transition as you're moving from one cell into another is seamless. This is a perfect solution for like large warehouses, sports arenas, hospitals and healthcare facilities, along with university and college campuses. Because unlike a Wi-Fi solution where you're reliant on the quality of the network infrastructure, DECT, as we all know, is basically a wireless protocol that was built specifically for voice. So as I was explaining, when you go to a multi-cell network, you create this mesh network where the signal is basically safe within inside that, which is what makes it ideal, as I said, for that larger installation. It's a true enterprise quality system, as I like to say.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Chris, with SIP endpoints becoming more a commodity, how can Snom help service providers differentiate their solutions?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You know, the service providers, if they had their way, there would be no more endpoints. They don't like to have the endpoints. They're a piece of the puzzle if they would like to do without it, if at all possible. Unfortunately for them all, it's going to be around for quite some time. The endpoints are going to be there. But you know how they're presenting today, the majority of the service providers, they're presenting what they have, and what they have is their cloud service. No matter whatever the platform is, the presentations that they can have, they can show to customers, wrap around what they can do in the cloud, what technology they have, what features are available, what's the pricing models, those types of things. And unfortunately for the service providers, all of their competitors are really doing the same thing. So it gets to a point really where you're just trying to show off your best against another company showing off really the same things. They can spend 2 hours talking about their cloud services and have their competitors come and really say the same things behind them. How we can assist is really showing the customers, or showing the service providers as well as the customers, that the desktops on the handsets on the desktop still matter. Whether it's a wired desktop solution, wireless desktop solutions that we're talking about today, the technology we bring to the desktop still makes a difference. And specifically, again, with the M100, we talk about the vertical solutions we support, as well as other SMB keyline emulation type technology. We can bring technology to the desktop that our competitors are not providing, which allows the service provider to present different solutions, to wrap their solutions along with the desktop options that really provide solutions and solve problems for their customers. We solve problems without making them adapt to the way we're doing business. We try and adapt to the way they're doing business. And that's one of the things we can provide for the service providers.
Okay. Still with you, Chris. How can DECT and keyline emulation systems create and add value for end customers?
Well, for the end customers itself, it's really a number of things. Primarily, the potential is with cost savings as well as added feature at the customer level. Within the M100 and the keyline technology, we're able to provide multiple user access licenses off through the base station, while just limiting the number of platform licenses required to run the base station. And what that means basically is we can run 10 extensions, 10 users off of one license from the carrier, which can be a significant cost savings for all customers. We also provide pot line elimination. So think of average POTS line today costs $50. By bringing SIP trunking or pooled lines into the scenario, you can really reduce that easily by half, many times by much more. So the cost savings is significant. But in addition to that, the value for end users is a technology we bring to that location for them. The ability to have a key system functionality to replace their on-prem solution. The ability to have technology in the base station. Redundancy within the base station. So every time off the M100 or DECT solutions, every time the handset's picked up, it's not going back out to the cloud. It's not signaling the cloud. So redundancy is a benefit, as well as cost savings within the bandwidth requirements as well. So the technology, having a robust DECT technology on premise for the customer is a multitude of cost savings and benefits.
Okay. Simon, how can Snom assist service providers in the interop process? And does Snom provide any incentive to service providers to help them prioritize interop and certification?
Yeah, that's, I'm glad you asked that question, actually, Bruce. So interop, it's basically it's a necessary evil for any of this. As we all know, we've all been in this industry a long time. Everybody's got a product, but will it work with your platform? So during that process, we appreciate how much effort goes into it from the engineering side for the service provider. So basically, through our team of sales engineers, you're going to get direct access to the engineering team on our side. So we're basically driven to make this process for you as smooth and as simple as possible. We really, like, as I said, you know, it's a necessary evil, but it has to be done, and we want to make that as painless as possible for you, just to prove again, like, what a good partner we are to work with.
Okay. I have a question coming from our attendees. Are there any new developments underway? This individual is excited to learn about future Snom products.
There are some new development processes in process right now on the roadmap. Expectation is the early part of next year. We should be able to pull the cover back on for those.
Okay.
And I'll just add, they surround both wireless and wired solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Chris, what is one thing you think every service provider should know about Snom products and solutions?
Well, that's a really good question. And, you know, there's a lot of things I prefer that we all talk about Snom solutions and products. If there's one thing I had to pick from all of them, I really hope that the service providers kind of go back in time a little bit and understand that the phones on the desktop still matter. The phones that they're presenting to their customers still matter. As much as the cloud is important and the platform is important, the phone itself is what the customer sees every day. It's what they pick up every day and hold every day and use every day. Many times when a friend of an end user asks, what phone system are you using? They'll look at the phone itself and say, well, we're using Snom. That's the face of their service. Our desktop devices are the face of their service, like it or not. And in addition to that, the technology we bring back to the desktop, again, with the wireless DECT differentiation solutions, are a game changer. It really does win business for the carriers. It allows them to differentiate their solutions. It saves them from having to mark down to compete. Because right now, many of the quotes in the cloud environment are a race to the bottom as far as price. The differentiation is minimal, so the differentiation becomes a cost differentiation, and we're able to minimize that. We're able to change that trend. We're able to show value versus price savings, in addition to price savings, but reducing in cost. So we're able to show value rather than just reduce cost to compete. And that's the one. That's more than one, unfortunately, but those are the things that I think that every service provider should know about Snom products. And if you'd like more information, we really want to share that with you. Also, on this, as a side note, one thing that every service provider should know right today as well is we do still have stock in product in stock.
Okay, I'm just kind of, you're talking about the desktops, and with the transition over the last year or year and a half into remote work and hybrid work, and the use of Zoom platforms and Teams platforms, how is that going to affect that use of the desktop phone?
I think it's just a continuation of the trends we've already seen. It's been expedited because of the pandemic. However, you know, mobile phones, cell phones have been trending upward in the previous years. There's many studies about, you know, the handsets, you know, the number of handsets being deployed in the future is going to be decreasing, increasing, staying moderate, whatever the case may be. I think that regardless of how much emphasis is placed on Zoom and those teams and those technologies, the desktop device still has its place. It still has its home. Many people, rather than just pushing a button on a desktop or on a mobile device, they like to have a physical handset. They like to pick up, put it up to their ear, put on speakerphone, have a vibrant speaker. There's still a place for an everyday office user, and that's where the phones are going to maintain.
Okay, great. Finally, if you want to leave our attendees with one major thought from today's conversation, what would it be? Each of you take that one.
Simon, you can go first.
Thanks, Chris. One major thought. That's a really good question. I've got kind of stumped on that one, to be honest.
I'll jump in first, if you don't mind, Simon.
Yeah, please do, Chris.
Yeah, so I alluded to this in my last answer about what service providers should know about Snom. And it was a little, this is just something that needs to get out there and needs to be said. We are a manufacturing company. VTech is a manufacturing company. Many people don't know we are one of the world's largest manufacturers. And with that comes, purchasing power on components. The ability to take components out of one category or one product and fill them in to a different product when required to fulfill an order, whatever the case may be. With the chip shortages surrounding the world, many of our competitors having issues providing product because of the chip shortages, we're doing quite well. We've been able to manage this process. We do very strong forecasting and purchasing ahead of our forecast to make sure that when inventories need to be fulfilled, we're fulfilling them. In addition, we have local warehouse that is a stocking warehouse. We are not a build to order manufacturer. We manufacture and we warehouse. So when the time arrives for the orders to come in, we have product to fulfill it. And that's just a big piece of the puzzle in today's world that needs to be explained as well.
Okay. Simon, do you want to add something?
Yeah, actually, just to add to really what Chris is saying there, aside from the manufacturing arm of the company, which is huge, it's what we try to provide you as an overall solution. With all the Panasonic dealers out there at the moment, we realize that, you're kind of in a rock and a hard place. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to change product maybe where you didn't necessarily want to. Everybody's got a product that they can give you and replace it with, but we're going to try and help you make that transition as easy as possible. I think I mentioned it earlier on in one of my answers about how, we actually provide you North American-based support. So it's not a case of you're calling a support center that's abroad somewhere. It's not like you're waiting for an email to be responded to after you've run into an issue. You can literally pick a phone up and speak to somebody there and then. Should that need to be escalated, immediately it gets escalated into R&D. But the point I'm trying to make is we're providing you that whole solution there. It's not just one arm of it. We're not just providing you the products and hoping everything's good. We're trying to help that transition as easy as possible.
Okay. Here's another question. How has the pandemic affected your forecasting?
I'll say across the board, of course, it's affecting every aspect. As far as forecasting and the ability to forecast and maintain manufacturing and fulfillment, we actually forecast 6 to 12 months out on many of our products and purchase and fulfill components for that same period of time. And with that, we're able to accommodate many fluctuations because we're extending and purchasing much of our product ahead of time. And even if there's a situation where a very large order were to come in, because of our manufacturing might, we'll say, we're able to take components from maybe lesser required products and build them into specific forecasted products.
Okay, great. Finally, gentlemen, I'm just wondering if any of our attendees want to reach you and discuss more information from Snom and your products, how can they reach you?
Yeah, that's actually quite simple. Basically, it's snom.com. And our main header page there for North America, we have links directly into sales. We have a services link there where you can basically obtain information product-wise online and also set up access to the support team directly from there.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything to add there?
If you want to talk specifically about sales and sales opportunities, product demonstrations, product presentations, please reach out to me directly. My name is Chris Tritton, and Bruce, is my contact information included in this broadcast? I believe it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is. Or if not, we will make sure that it is when we go online. Okay.
Yeah, but please feel free to reach out to me. That's why I'm here, is to help you with understand the products and understand how to position and where to position them in the market.
Okay, great. And I think that's going to wrap up today's presentation. Our thanks to Snom's Chris Tritton, Account Manager for Cloud Service Providers, and Simon Bradbrook, Sales Engineer. But before we go, I just want to remind you about our Channel Vision Webinar Rewards Program. You know, by attending this event, you automatically are enrolled in our incentive program. So just keep an eye out for our monthly prize drawings. For information on the Channel Vision Webinar Rewards Program and to see what kind of prizes you can win, visit our website at channelvisionmag.com/webinar rewards. And also remember, you can access this webinar and all other Channel Vision presentations on demand by visiting our website at channelvisionmag.com. And now, from all of us at Channel Vision Magazine and from Simon and Chris, thank you for attending. Have a safe and prosperous day.
Thank you.
Thank you.